everybody, it's Lee from Leanne's collection. I wanted to show you how to do a fast arm design. I've been doing some rose tutorials with my Leanne's Rainbow Collection brushes, and I thought I'd show you how to pull it all together. So I'm just loading a rainbow first. This is from the Fairy palette, and I'm going to put the pink onto the inside, and I'm going to be doing a semicircle to use as a frame for my rose design. Just pulling that down. Doesn't matter really how neat it is, I guess. Would be nicer if it was neater, but I'm not a particularly neat painter. So I'm going into using the Leanne's Rainbow Flower brush. I'm just going into the darkest part of the green and then taking that over to the lighter part over here so that I have dark and light on my petal brush. So I'm doing the roses now, and that's just a matter of dropping this brush and pivoting it, and I'm going to drop and pivot for my rose leaves. I want to keep this circle in the middle vacant, so that's where my rose is going to be sitting. I've got the Leanne's Rainbow Angle brush, and I'll just load that up from the very, I have to wash that off because I just did a practice run. So from the very dark end of the cake in the Fairy palette, I'm going to work on, I need it to go all the way around, so I'm going to take that around out to the leaves. I don't want to really go over the green leaves, but I do want to take it up to sort of the edges there. If you go over the green, it can, unless it's dry, it can muddy. So then I go into the middle part of the cake, which is a little bit lighter, so that I can start building depth. And I don't really like waiting for my roses to dry properly, so I've created this cake so that I can just move the brush and this brush particularly just down the cake like this and build my rose. And so again, I'm going to do my second layer. You can see already that is building out some depth here, and then again I can go into the lighter end of the cake again without waiting for that to dry, and that will give me the center of my rose there. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to finish the design by taking my Leanne's Rainbow petal brush that I've just washed off. I've got paint everywhere of my hands, but that's pretty normal. It's how I like to paint. It's a little bit messy, not too neat, so I don't like to get stressed over it. It would take me too long, to tell you the truth, and I don't have the attention span. So I'm just I'll just take you through this. So I've got water. I hold my cake like this. This is the Pro Paraffin White. I hold it down here and I load down here, but then I sort of dry it off up here, and I want that paint to be nice and tacky. I don't want that to be too thick, so I'm just wiping that off. Again, going in here, I don't want it to be too thick. I'm wiping off again. I'm just taking off the edge of this so that I can get some nice deep colors on there. We're taking that into the magenta here and the purple, and then on the top of the cake here I'm just literally just dropping that down, and that the brush will do all of the work for you. I take it sideways. That was just dropping it flat and pivoting around, and then I'm taking it flat, and I want to cascade these little petals, flower petals, all the way around down here, just to frame that design. So now I can take my Leanne's Collection filbert brush, and again going down into the wet part here, taking it and drying it, again not too thick. I do want this to be runnier than what the double dip flower was. The double dip flower has to be quite tacky, and the Pro Paraffin White is beautiful for line work, but I want it to be able to glide, so it does need to be a little bit wetter, but again not too thick. So I just tap that off on the edges there, and I can take this and I can drop this here I hope you can see. And then I spin and twist, coming back up to my focal point. There you go. And I'm just going to bring that down. It's gotten a little bit wet, but it still looks really pretty. And I'm just taking that like that. Now, I could leave that like that, or otherwise I'm just going to pop that rose by outlining it. So just take a thin liner brush. I've just had some paint on this, so I'll show you with this one. And I can just put your dots into the flower. You can put a little starburst in here, I guess. And another starburst here. I do normally work in 3, so I'm going to have to put a starburst down here as well. And then coming back into the bottom of my Pro Paraffin White, which is still a little bit wet, I'm just going to go around and outline my rose. You don't have to do this, but I just wanted to show you what the difference looks like if it's outlined. It just sort of brings it out a little bit more. You don't really need to do that. That's a bit fussy, but anyway, I hope that you like the video. That's should be about a 3 or 4 minute design, pretty quickly. If I wanted to do anything else on the leaves, I could. I just sort of go into and mix from here, because I know that I've got that in the bottom layer. But if I want to do some highlights on those leaves, I can just go into the lighter areas, and you know that it's gonna match because it's already in there. And then you can pull your highlights in like this. Again, it just depends on, you know, your sort of style. If I've got time, I fuss around like this, but otherwise I leave it as it is. If you wanted to put a little bit of green down the sides here just to balance that, come back in again to your cake. It probably would have been enough paint on there, but I thought I'd just reload. And then just using this instead of the flat, which I just showed you for the rose leaves, just come in and on the side and just bring that over. And you can see that that creates really easy little leaves that match in with these little flower buds that I do, which is sort of, I do on most of my designs. I can just do some leaves here. Okay, beautiful. Well, I hope you liked that little demo, and have a nice day. Bye.